Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for January the 24th through the 30th, 2022. So before we begin, I'd just like to welcome everyone, especially anyone who's returning this week and anyone who is new to our channel for the very first time. I'd just like to make you aware of a few things that are going on. So this is the last full week of the month, and my special offer angel reading that I've been offering since the pandemic for $77, which I extended for 1 full hour. This is the last week that will be available up through the 31st, obviously. And so if you'd like to get an angel reading with me using that special offer, you may do so. Also, there are other, after this point, then everything will just go back to the way it was. And there's also angel coachings there, my website as well. And I think it's 10 sessions. And what it does is it allows you to work on anything with me that you like, and to work on something over those 10 weeks to kind of help give you that support that you need in sort of stepping out and into whatever it is. If it's something that you're trying to launch, or if you're trying to do spiritual development in terms of your abilities and your intuition, it can be whatever really you need it to be for you. But it's a great opportunity, and there is communication in between in terms of email or whatever is needed. So I know some people have already considered it, and so if you would like to do this, I know I can only probably do maybe 5 of these sessions at a time, while I'm also doing my regular readings and other things that I'm working on that I'll be telling you about at some point very soon. So yeah, and I'll be sharing some of those other things very soon. I just wanted to make sure I get sort of started, get it going. I've already started, but I just want to make sure it's sort of at a place where when I'm ready, when everything's ready. So yeah, so again, those are all the things that are available to you. So let us now take a deep breath. And just tune in to your heart space with the intention of connecting in and aligning with your soul's wisdom and that of your higher self. And also be aware of the abundance of wisdom and resources, gifts, and talents that your soul carries and is bringing forth into this time and space to support you and to help you achieve your goals and ambitions. And the angels are really wanting you to listen to your heart. And first of all, they want you to be authentically you. So they really want you to go with the flow and to follow your heart, where it's leading you, to trust your intuition and your instincts, to listen to the signals within your body, the impulses within your body that flow like a waterfall, that just rushes through you. They want you to go with that, waterfall, that flow, like an outpouring. And just imagine yourself sitting on the ledge of a fall, just hovering slightly above it. And just be aware of the enormous energy coming from behind and the energy that's dropping off in front of you. They're writing the word expression, and this is about the expression of your gifts and your talents, your passion, your desires. That you don't just sit on them, but you let them flow and you go with it. You go with that direction. And they show that some of you put your feet often in the water, but you don't take your other foot and place it and go. You sort of playing it safe, and you just keep testing out the temperature or the feel of the water to see if you can get the nerve up again to try it again and try to go with it. And it can be a little scary, but the thing about it is that when you get in that water, when you get in that stream and you go with the flow, that's where all the activity is happening for every possible outcome that you could be seeking for yourself. And it's also where possibilities beyond your imagination are also available for you to access. But when you're afraid and you're just standing on that bank with one foot in, and then you put it back, and you put it back in again, and you put it back, you start to imagine more and more of the risks. There's some things that you just will not know until you start to go. There are things that you can't imagine and that you can't understand until you start to go with what is, until you get in there. And our ego is trying to protect us. That's what it's doing. It's trying to protect you because, especially if there was something in the past that you were afraid of and that you experienced, and then you made up your mind about what that experience was all about, now your ego builds walls to prevent you from ever having that experience or anything close to it without fully being open to what lessons you gained from that. Because there's no experience that we do not gain something from it. We're always gaining something from everything that we experience, no matter how difficult or challenging or, hurtful or painful it was. But the thing is that you're never in that position again. But in that moment when you're stepping back and forth, your ego has you feeling as though you're in that old predicament. And so the hesitation is what's preventing you from discovering what's possible for you today and tomorrow. Now they keep writing the word magic. And I don't know, there's a few thoughts that come to mind when I see that. I mean, I hear that song, that old magic, but the thing is like, there is this awakening, right? We're looking for something, some excitement. We're looking for a purpose. And it's when you step in on total faith and trust yourself. I mean, that's really the magic. That's in the magician card, it's about knowing that you understand or aware of all of the elements and that you know how to utilize those tools. You may feel like you don't know what all the elements are and or what they will be and how to use them when the time comes. But what you have to understand is that all the elements are within you. And your tools and your gifts that will come forth will, from lifetimes of your experiences, they will be provoked and come forth, and you will know how to utilize those tools, meaning you'll know how to take advantage of those opportunities. You'll be able to support yourself. You'll know what you need to hang on to and what you need to let go of, and you'll be okay with it. The risks will be minimized in your perspective once you're out there, because once you're in that situation where you're now open to the opportunities, you will know what you need to surrender, to release, and what you need to embrace. But standing on the sideline, it's just all imagining, and sometimes imagining the worst case scenario. It's hard to imagine the best case scenario when you haven't put yourself out there first. So give yourself a chance, no matter what circumstance in life it is, by putting yourself out there first. And then seeing how the magic of your life will unfold, knowing that the universe and the outer reality knows your heart, is hearing your heartbeat, and is responding to it. So don't give yourself time to sort of conjure the worst situations. Don't give yourself time to really allow your fears to drown out the voice of your heart, because that will be what the outer reality is responding to. And what it will manifest is what you are expressing from your vibrational center. All right, so let's take a look at the Archangel that we'll be working with. And we have the Archangel Joules. And Archangel Joules is the divine feminine counterpart to Archangel Roquiel, who is actually a seraphim. And they both work with the Earth Star chakra and aligning and gathering all of the creatures that live on the planet. They take all of the essence of what they are putting into the planet, and they bring it down into the earth and into hollow earth. And they also work with your making sure that your Earth Star chakra and your Stellar Gateway chakra, which is the 12th chakra, which is above your crown chakra, above, about 3 chakras above, and it's the 12th one. And so they make sure that it's open, okay? And to get you on your, to align your chakras too with your fifth dimensional chakras. So Archangel, the message here is align with the highest. Go with the flow here. And you can see that Archangel Jules, he's touching the waters. And so, and helping you to find that alignment. Now, the oceans hold the Christ light. And this is just an energy. This is not religious when we say Christ light, but it is the, that it's a 10th dimensional frequency, the Christ light. And it's a light of enormous love, and it's a golden energy. So you might feel called to either, do a cleanse, like a bath cleanse, or to go to a body of water. But if you can't, obviously, do some of those things, you can also just ask in a meditation for Archangel Jules to submerge all of your chakras in the ocean, and so that your chakras align with the Christ energy. You can do this in meditation. Archangel Jules' etheric retreat is in the Bermuda Triangle, where the great crystal of Atlantis is supposedly, and etherically, is in that triangle. So you can connect with the Atlantean wisdom by linking with that, set an intention of linking with that crystal in the Bermuda Triangle. All right, so let me just tune in and just see if there's... So Archangel Jules is also writing about water. He's writing aqua. So basically, I also have aquamarine crystal here. And he wants you to work with the water that you drink. And you can ask him to bless the water that you're drinking with that Christ frequency, so that when you drink it, that it aligns the cells in your bodies with this Christ light. And you can set the intention also for your chakras to be aligned. So also just drinking a lot of water will assist you in this week as well. And he's writing something about manifestation. So you could he's also saying that you can set an intention. So when you ask him to bless that water, or you can have a picture of water you want to have blessed, but when you ask him to bless the water, also set an intention that you want to manifest. And it could also be an intention that you might want to hold, an intention for peace today. So when you do that, you can ask Archangel Jules to bless the water with the intention of peace, or anything that you desire to manifest. Okay? And he's also saying that you can connect with him through aquamarine crystals if you have it as well. You sort of get clearer messages from him. Let me just tune in and see if there's any additional information. And he's showing me some books on a table. And it feels like that some of you are being guided into research or to study. And what he wants you to know, that these things, especially if they're spiritual topics, that your higher self is guiding you back towards some information that you already possessed in another lifetime. So that know that whatever it is that you're reading or working on or studying, especially spiritual information, that this is information from, and he's writing, yes, specifically from lifetimes, and that you are reconnecting with that because it is a part of your purpose now and will help serve you in fulfilling that purpose. And he shows me a waterfall, and the waterfall, gosh, I hope I can explain this without going too long, but this week I asked the question, what is oneness and what is the law of one? And I saw a waterfall. And what I felt was that, first of all, they want us to understand is that oneness is unity, but unity is not unison. It's harmony. Each and every one of us collectively is a unique gift from God. Or you could say a unique gift of God. And what we're meant to do is, like that waterfall, is to pour out our gifts and our talents, our uniqueness, who you are, what you desire, what you're passionate about. And in oneness, this is what really oneness is. It's harmony in this way. That if each and every one of us is being uniquely who we are and expressing those gifts without restraint, this is oneness. It's harmony. Like in music, it creates this beautiful harmonies, and this would be the beginning of peace in the world. And so if you have been restraining yourself in any way, questioning, and this is why they've really been driving home, even with me personally, and for all of us, not to judge or criticize each other, especially ourselves, because when we do it to others, we're worse to ourselves. We may not hear it sometimes, but it prevents us from being our true selves and being that out in front in the world and putting that expression out. And this is what then, when we don't do this is what creates misalignment. When we start to create that which is not harmonious, and that creates suffering and pain for us. This is really what happiness is, by its pure definition, is when you are allowing the flow of and the pure essence of who you are to just truly be fully out there, unrestrained and unrestricted anyway. And so it's really important. The angels really want you to go with your flow, to be who you are, because this is a gift to the world. And I always say that as long as you feel that love, because love is what it is. And whenever I feel love, well, it doesn't matter what I have to say, it always is what's appropriate, no matter what I have to say or how I have to say it. But if I can't feel it, I always tell myself that I am not meant to speak on whatever it is I'm thinking, because it's not time for that person to hear it. That's what oneness is, with the respect, the harmony. And in oneness, we do respect the harmony. We're not, when we start judging, it's because we're looking for unison. We're looking for everyone to be like us. And we get upset with them because they're not. And then that's really about, we're getting upset with ourselves because we're not being who we are. When you're judging somebody else because they're not like you, that's because you're not being you. And that is how our criticism, self-criticism, and criticism of others, that's where it's triggered from. So think about that in this week. Because if you're going with your flow, you're happy. You are feeling fulfilled. You are motivated. You are excited, ecstatic. But when you are judging and criticizing, you're not happy with yourself. When you're looking for unison, when you're looking for everybody to be like you, it's because you're not happy. You're not being yourself. It's not about you're not happy with yourself first. It's that you're not being yourself, and therefore that makes you unhappy. So judge less and go more with your flow. Judge less your actions and your choices and your decisions. Don't judge those things. Remember, whenever you step in that stream that is always flowing, the stream of oneness, oneness is flowing. Oneness is being itself and expressing itself. It's unrestrained like that waterfall. There is no stagnation. There's no time for it. That's why they had us to sit on the edge of that cliff, and it might have felt a little scary, but the support doesn't have time. The universe doesn't have hiccups in supporting you. We do. When you're not in that river, that stream, you're standing on the bank, testing out. And that's the only reason why you would perceive risks. Because from there, you're not in it where all the support is flowing. Because once you step in there and you put yourself out there, everything will come. As long as you keep being yourself, and you'll know when you're not because you'll be back on that bank, and you won't know it, but you'll know it because of how you feel. When you start judging and criticizing everything, it's because you got out and you stood on the bank and started assessing the risk. When you're in it, your intuition flows, your awareness is heightened and broadened so that you recognize your uniqueness in the reality around you. So it's like you align with the choices. It's easier to align with the choices that you truly desire, which helps to mitigate the risks, because all the choices that are in alignment for you are available for you to witness. And all you have to do is continuously trust. That's what going with the flow means also. Trust. Trust the feeling of alignment. And as you get better with that, you'll be less fearful. And they're writing that your beliefs, that when you stand on the bank, because when you stand on the bank, your beliefs are formulated by your ego, by fear. But when you're in the stream of oneness, your beliefs shift and are formulated by love and infinite possibilities. Okay, so let's take a look at the card for the first part of the week. And it's the Sun card. And, I would feel like I would say, just be yourself, right? Shine who you are to the world, like the sun. Be aware that everything that you are touches everything around you. And what grows around you is what you are shining. So don't shine your fears, because like the sun, you will cause that to grow. Shine your love, shine your heart, your desires, shine what you deserve, the things that you deserve, and focus on what you deserve and not what you do not deserve. I mean, we're so well versed in all the things that we shouldn't do that we don't have enough space and room in our hearts for what we do want, or what we want to do or should be doing. All right. So the Sun card is a card of great positivity, and it generally means success. But I feel like what we need to be aware of is the tool of the sun and what it does. So it causes anything to grow. It nurtures growth. And if you're in the flow of your oneness and expressing that and shining that out, that's what will grow around you automatically. It will cause things to grow the way that if you're being what you're meant to be, then the things around you will be what they're meant to be. Meaning, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, it will be it will be authentic in its development and manifestation. But if you're being sort of non-committed or non-committal, then the things that manifest around you will be non-committal. So if you're non-committal about, love, because your heart's been broken so many times and you're afraid of having your heart broken, so you don't commit. You save a part of yourself so that the other person, so you have something left just in case, because you already have this mindset of all the risk that this person's going to break your heart, so I'm going to save some. Now you're going to manifest people to come into your love, to come to you romantically, who have the same problem. And so what? It goes nowhere, or you stay together and you create for each other a great deal of pain because this is what you believe. This is why we have to step out there and put ourselves in that stream because love, the beliefs of love will transform your pain and your suffering. And it'll attract to you at the level which you are allowing your true self to shine, is what you will get in return. All right, let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. And we have two major arcana cards here. And it's so interesting because both of these cards, the strength card is Leo, and of course the sun rules Leo, and so we have here the sun and Leo. And this is a card about balance, number one. I mean, many of the cards in the tarot are about that balance, and it's reminding us of our alignment, and it's reminding us of the inner alignment, that the world around you is an effect of whatever alignment you have going on within in the realm of cause. So if there's an imbalance where you fear something because you don't understand it, or because you have these preconceived ideas about what it is, then that will affect your outer reality, as we just explained. So first of all, again, and we were talking about courage, so it does take courage to step out there in that stream. But you have it within you. And I feel like there's a new strength. Just the sun is shining on your strength. That it feels like that the universe is amplifying your strength, and it may be putting you in a position for your inner strength to come out, for that gift to come out where you felt powerless, perhaps, or like a victim or hopeless, that now, or you've been intimidated by someone or something, that now that your inner light, your higher light, is amplifying that inner light within you as a strength. So know that in some way the universe this week is amplifying your inner gifts and your strengths. And whether you are challenged by it or you feel automatically supportive, meaning that you feel free to express and be who you are, either way, it is a form of support, the one that you need to best help you to get into alignment with who you truly are. I see you stepping out of a doorway, coming out in some way. All right. So in this week, it feels like you're going to have a bit of a coming out of sorts. And in some way you're stepping out that's bolder than you ever had to do before. And whether it's that you felt pushed into it or you felt ready for it, um, this is what I'm seeing. But it's all, they want you to know it's the support that you need. And the support is coming from within, because now your higher self is really in the position to guide and be in the front seat, in the main chair. And your ego is in the back, but you can still hear those old whispers of your ego. And the thing is that you have more clarity to choose your higher self's guidance over your ego's, triggers, right? So, or baggage. So it's up to you. All right, and we have here the messenger of earth. So this tells me, and this is the normally the knight, okay, in this deck. So it's the knight. And this is about, planning, being methodical, taking your time. And I feel also being compassionate. Also dedication is the word that comes to me. And the only way to dedicate yourself and to be committed to something is to not put more pressure on yourself than is necessary. So here again, we go back to this inner alignment, and you want to think of like scales. And you have to make sure that the scales are balanced. Now, you don't have to do anything. The scales are automatically balanced. It's when, and you'll know because you'll feel content and happy. But when you put more pressure on yourself, you add weights to one side or the other, and it throws the balance off. So don't be in a hurry where you start piling on the pressure, piling on the responsibilities, and then you get thrown off your game, so to speak. Now, I see they're showing me someone standing with a telephone, like in a booth, and this is very old school, so I'm trying to understand why they're showing the old school version of this, but it's almost like you have to, as I'm saying all of this, be aware of getting calls where people are asking you to do things for you, calling you up and asking you and putting you in a position where you feel all of a sudden caught off guard because you didn't know it was coming, that they were going to ask it, and then you don't know how to handle it. And the tendency is to become sort of feeling like you're under the gun. And when you're like in that expression, it's like your mind is just, shooting off all kinds of ways to manipulate yourself out of the situation when you are not being manipulated into it. You perceive that. That's how we give away our power. You're never obligated to anyone but your own heart. And one thing that the knight here is talking about is if you listen to your heart and you are devoted to your heart and you honor your heart, then you will automatically feel supported in every situation that you encounter, because you have learned to rely and to trust in your own heart. If your heart, when somebody calls you and they throw something out to you and you feel enthusiastic about it right away, your heart leaps, then you know that your heart, this is something your heart wants for you. But if somebody calls you and your heart struggles, then that's all the information you need. And if you listen to that and you say no, or sorry, I have, just have other things I'm focused on right now, and you let it go, then this kind of alignment will cause those situations to happen less often. Number one, because people will realize that they just can't call on you to do anything. They'll say that you're busy And they won't say that you're lazy. They'll say you're busy. You have priorities. You have goals. We all know people like this. We don't bother them because we know they have, goals and priorities, and that's why they're successful. People don't bother people who are being successful, who are being themselves, therefore being successful. But if you are not committed to your own success, you're not dedicated to it, then people bother you all the time. And so that's one aspect of this that you have to be aware of in terms of keeping those scales balanced by not putting or allowing anyone else to put extra weight on you. So when you feel obligated when somebody calls or confronts you, then recognize that this is not heart-based. This is fear. And take your time, work through that process, and see if this is what you really desire. They're writing the word magical again. And I get a feeling like this is everyday magic, if you want to call it that way. This isn't spell casting, but this is everyday magic. Because in our lives, what they're trying to get you to see is how you create magic all the time by the choices that you make. But it's how you make that choice. That's the magic. Do you make it under pressure or duress? Or do you do it when your heart sings? These are the options, basically. And if you start doing things when your heart sings, then it'll seem magical because it brings happiness to you and to your goals and your purpose. It supports it. And that's what will make you feel successful. And then that's what will align you, your outer reality, to attract more success to you. And it's up to you how long you want to be on this trip of success. It's up to you how long you want to be on that trip. But if you want to be on that trip, this is the card from the bottom, Justice, talking about scales, right? So you have to start discerning what the scales are for you that are making sure that they're balanced. That's what you have to do. All right, so I send you lots of love. Well, that's what we have to do. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful week, and God bless you.